is Christian Liensberger. I'm a program manager in the office of the CTO at Microsoft. The office of the CTO is a small organization in Microsoft that looks at new technologies and new trends in the industry and works across the company to figure out like how do we bring some of these trends and ideas into the company, and also incubates new ideas. As part of that, we have been building something called Project Trove. It is a marketplace that empowers developers to find high quality data for their projects, in particular machine learning, where a lot of data is needed today. And it simultaneously allows people that have data to monetize the data, but also understand with full transparency and control what happens to the data, right? So if you look at this today in machine learning in the industry, like a lot of data is being collected, but the people that provide this data in many cases don't know that they provide data to machine learning. So there's very limited amounts of transparency, very limited amounts of control. And also what happens then is that because people don't know, they also don't provide the best data they could provide. And we think by including both sides of the market, like there's the developers that built these machine learning models, and then there's these people that have data, by including them and bringing them together, creating transparency, creating control, creating maybe even a way to communicate with each other, creates higher quality and more security for both sides and more trust, right? And so this is what we're building with Trove. We're building out a marketplace where these two sides can meet, where they can actually communicate with each other, where somebody can ask for data and others can send that data, and then they can actually work together on machine learning models, which is very different than in today's world. As a photo taker, I can open Trove. I can see a lot of projects in Trove. I can browse through them. In this case, I opened like the books and magazine project, right? And what I see here is actually a bunch of photos at the top that the AI developer has put into the project that show me which ones are good examples and bad examples. This creates a lot of transparency to me to understand, like if I contribute to this, which photos are needed. Also, I can see the name of the developer, their ratings. I can see a price, so I understand how much I get paid for my photos. I see a description. The description tells me more about the photos they're looking for. It shows me also how the photos will be used. So I can learn more about what my photos are going to be used for. I can see a little bit of requirements and steps of how I need to collect or I should collect the photos. And then below that, there's even a button that allows me to connect and contact the developer so I can learn more about what are the things they're looking for in case I have questions. At the very end of the screen, I see a license. And this is basically the building blocks of showing me when I send photos, what rights I keep and what rights I give up, and what rights the other side, the developer, has to leverage my photos. This gives me a lot of trust, transparency, and control whenever I want to participate and contribute to a project. As the developer of the books projects, I can go and sign into an experience where I see my projects, I can see all the photos that have been submitted, I can approve the ones that I like, I can reject the ones that I don't like. I can give also feedback about the ones that I didn't like, and at the end I can rate and review the photo taker to give them additional feedback, encouragement, and maybe even tell them what went well and what didn't go so well. Throughout the whole process, I can always go update the prices, change the descriptions to create more clarity, and I can also go and at the end only pay for the photos that I approved, so I don't have to pay for the ones that I didn't like. Trove is currently available to collect photos. We are available for AI developers across the world and for photo takers in the US right now. We are planning to expand Trove to additional data types such as sounds, videos, and text. And we also plan to expand beyond the US for photo takers. It would be great to hear from you on our forum of what you think the next data type should be and also which countries we should go next. If you want to learn more about Trove, please go to aka.ms/Trove. If you have a really cool project and want to add it to Trove, please go to aka.ms/Trove@project. It will take a couple of days for us to come back to you, but we will get back to you. We can wait to see your ideas. Thank you so much and goodbye.